Hello, everyone. Welcome to Unicorn Light Tarot. Sincerely hope everybody is doing amazingly well today. Welcome if you are brand new. I keep forgetting to do that. Welcome if you are brand new. If you just clicked on to this reading, or if you are returning, and welcome all brand new subscribers. Welcome one and all. Today we are getting messages of support from your spirit guides, what they want you to know in this very moment. So we have 3 piles as usual. The first pile, I thought we could use some hearts today. I know these are definitely timeless readings, but we are picking up on the collective energy right now, and we just started Mercury in retrograde. So regardless of when you come across this reading, it's still going to resonate, so don't worry about it. But I felt like we could all use some hearts for this reading and for this week. So we have the pink heart for pile 1, the purple heart for pile 2, and the blue heart for pile 3. So as always, take as much time as you need. The more aligned you are with your own energy, especially your heart chakra and your own intuition, the more these will resonate with you, the more these messages will resonate with you. So if you need to go off and take your time, a little bit of meditation, whatever you personally do to get back to you, go be you, and feel free to pause the video, and the timestamps will be down below when you play the video and come back again. And for those of you who are still here, let's take in a nice deep breath. Hold for a moment and release everything you don't need, all of those worries, whatever we just don't need for the next 15-20 minutes for the messages for these readings. You are always welcome, as always, to pick up whatever you need to at the end of these readings. But for now, let's just come back to you. So let's get right into these readings. We're going to put aside pile 2 and pile 3 for now. And again, if you chose pile 1 of the pink heart, then this is your reading, messages of support from your spirit guides, what they want you to know right now. So the first thing we're going to do is, everybody has a myriad of different guides across the board, and some guides are upgrading right now. You might be upgrading into more guides, but for now we're going to find out who's reaching out to you at this time, what energy guide wise is in and around you. So let's do that first. And you've got Archangel Raguel. Wonderful. So you've got angels in and around you. Archangel Raguel, relationship harmony. We angels are opening the hearts of everyone involved. Arguments and conflicts are being resolved now. So you've got Archangel Raguel in and around you right now, working through some relationship and bringing some harmony to the relationships. It could mean relationships between yourself, your higher self, and yourself right now. Different versions of self, that too. And again, even though this is a timeless reading, we just had the new moon in Libra, and of course that's all about relationship harmony too. So that's going to carry on to whatever's going on right now. So angel energy, the theme right now is relationship harmony. So let's get you some more information. So you've got the Holy Spirit, expect miracles. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. That is wonderful. Earth and ground. So the first message we're getting for you, pile 1, is regardless of what's going on, there's a few different things right now, regardless of what's going on. And of course, each and every one of you has a nuanced version of this, because this is a general reading. But whatever's going on, Spirit has your back. It's going to be okay. And the other message that we're getting is, and this is perfectly reasonable, by the way, perfectly reasonable, and we commend you for this too, because this is a beautiful practical brain. When we have a situation, when we have something that's going on, we go into our practical brains and we think about all the different ways it can work out. We also think about what we need to do. Let's step up, let's do this. Now, there's nothing wrong with action in any way, shape, or form, but the main message that we're getting for you, that whatever is being resolved in and around you, and it is relationship harmony, there is something for each and every one of you that's being resolved, that you've put up to your guides that you need a little bit of help with. Spirit has your back, and the answer is not going to be probably 99.9% for each and every one of you going to be provided by you. It's a matter of releasing and letting go and let the magic happen. Now, again, there's absolutely nothing wrong whatsoever with you putting all your ducks in a row and getting out there and, I've got a problem, I need to solve it, I need to do this, that, and the other. Put the energy out there, but also it's a matter of stepping back and focusing on the solution. How does it feel when it's done? There is some divine measure coming in for you if you allow for it. Now, some of you are blocking this just a little bit because your need to, and it's nothing about control. I need to control this. I need to control the outcome. It's got nothing to do with that. It's perfectly reasonable that you want to step in with 2 feet and get it done and move forward. And this is how we're doing it. There's a practical element to this because it's a practical problem in a way, whatever's going on. So it makes sense that you want to deal with it practically. And also, but there's an essence of you that's ready for that new beginning. There's an essence of you that's ready for that miracle. So if you want that energy to come in and you want the resolve of whatever it is that's coming, the energy that's in and around you to be a miracle, then let it happen a little bit. So, and not block the energy. Give some room for the universe to come in and absolutely help you because you are ready. Now, all of these little things that you're doing, they are wonderful, but they may not be needed. When the universe will nudge you in a direction when they want you to look something up or they want you to do something. So if you're not getting that nudge, you don't have to look through everything and trying to sort this out yourself. Again, it's not control. It's just a matter of you wanting to take care of something, which again is perfectly, beautifully needed. And it's something that you've done before. You're very good at it. You have that energy to it, but you're being asked to trust in a way. This is it's not exactly a test, but it's something that you could put energy into if you are grounded into your own energy and there's no blocks, then the universe will be able to come in and really help you out with this solution, and the solution will be magical. And no, you won't be able to come up with the solution, but it is something that's for some of you, it feels as though the time is running out. I don't know. It feels crazy to sort of surrender it. It feels a little bit nuts, and that's probably why you are here right now getting this message. It's not nuts, because we want to remind you that you have sown the seeds to all of this. Everything that you want is on the precipice. It's going to be given to you in a timely manner. But at the same time, you will be looked after and supported in everything that you do as you move forward. Have faith in that. Most of you have actually stepped up recently and said, I'm ready for this new beginning. I'm ready for this magic. I'm ready for these miracles. I'm ready for all of this. And I'm ready for doing things differently. And you've put that action behind it. And that action is for you to stay clear, to listen to those nudges, to listen to those intuitions, instead of that practicality coming in, that mind practicality going, we should do this, we should do that, we should do that. So again, if you are urged to do something, that little nudge, universe will absolutely nudge you and say, we want you to look this up now, we want you to do this. It will all fall in line. You will be fine. Absolutely fall on your feet here. So, for some of you who are feeling as though this is a little bit of a test, you're not wrong in a way. This is what you've asked for. They're ready to deliver it. But this is your connection to magic, how much you believe in yourself, in trusting and surrendering to the universe. And there are big rewards if you do it this way. And we're not suggesting that you just, you just abandon everything. And, it's the surrendering process is completely different. You are building that energy with the universe. You're going to be okay. Now, this is the first part in a way of how you are working with your life. It's slightly differently. And for some of you, it could be a little disconcerting because you already know that you can't go back. The energy of how you used to work doesn't work for you anymore, but you're not quite rooted into this way of moving in the world yet. But you're insanely magical, and this and you know that you're ready. So this is just the next step. Let's get you a little bit more information here. Let's try and get you some more specifics in this. And each and every one of you have something going on. Now, the relationship harmony came up. For some of you, it will be relationship harmony, getting some insight about whether to stay in a relationship or not. But most of this is about moving in some practical way or form. And the relationship is between your magical self and your higher self, which is one and the same. And then your sort of, not lower self, but your practical self. It's merging of the both to believe in that magical side. So it's the relationship harmony is between you and you, bringing in these beautiful aspects of self together. Now, it's not the lower self, but just for clarity's sake, we're going to call it the lower self and the higher self. Your lower self has already been sowing these seeds, as we've already said. This is just a reiteration. But also at the same time, you also believe in your magic. So there's no more healing to be done. So they're really, there's no doubt here. You're ready to do this. You're ready to move forward. The energy that you put out, the surrendering that you put out, the trust that you put out will be matched by the universe. And they realize this is not a small thing to ask. They get that. They absolutely get that. That's why the rewards are huge, and they absolutely have your back. You will be supported one way or another to move forward as all of this unfolds. Because what a lot of you have asked for is something quite big, but again, you've been working towards it one way or another. So, if it doesn't, the bigness of it doesn't show up immediately in the next couple of weeks, you will be supported to move forward, so you can claim it a little later on. But you're not going to be left out in the darkness or left out to sea while something big comes in. You're going to be supported incrementally as you move forward. So what do we have here for earth and ground? The Hierophant. Yeah. Coming back into your magic and working with your guides too. If you have those moments where you're like, all right, I'm feeling this moment of doubt just a little bit, and it's all part of the process. It's all part of the process. Trying to block out the doubt isn't going to do anything because you can't block it out. So when it comes up, you can just say, listen, this is, I know the doubt is here. I'm going to go out for a walk. I need a little bit more assistance here. And say to the universe, I need a sign right now. I'm having a little bit of doubt. Show me a sign. Show me something. It could be the 111s, or, you turn on the music and the lyrics just speak to you, whatever it is, a little bit of meditation. Everybody will work with this energy a little bit differently. But when you're having these doubts, turn right to your spirit guides and say, I'm here. I need a sign. I just need a little bit of physical support right now so you can keep on. Don't try and do this completely on your own. They know this is a big step for you. However, it's only a big step because you're moving out of what no longer works again into something that you've not solidified yet. However, you've done all of the work, and once you've solidified this movement and this moment, moving forward and living this way will not be a big deal. So this is the beginning to something much bigger. So, and you can absolutely do this. You are insanely magical. You can absolutely do this. So you've got the Nine of Swords. Again, coming back to with the relationship harmony, coming back to, as your practical mind, it hasn't worked out before. That's fine. Again, you can't compare to the past anymore because whatever's not worked out before, it's not relevant to the present. You are not even remotely that person that it didn't work out for before in the past, if that makes any sense. So, you're really in this new present moment. So staying in the present moment is really, really going to help you. And remember that, whether you see this as a test, this is just, even if these little bumps come up as you move forward, and it's feeling as though things aren't going to work out. That's part of it as you move forward into this magical life. Keep your energy high. Keep your vibration high. Know that whatever is slung at you, if you're in that mode where things are coming at you and it doesn't seem like it's going to work out, it will work out. That's part of it. Keep your vibration high. Keep your energy on the on the end result of how you're going to feel. You've absolutely got this because you've asked for something big. It's going to step into it. So, the obstacles coming up is all part of the universe testing you just before something comes in. So don't let the energy of it get you down. Now, it's nothing, they never give you any kind of obstacles as you're moving into something big that you cannot deal with. So again, keep your vibration high when it comes in. If you need extra support, reach out and say, I need a physical sign right now. I need some support. Do not compare yourself to anyone else. Do not compare yourself to your past, because that was someone else. You don't even compare to that person anymore. So literally, present moment is all you have. So that can be a little disconcerting for some of you, because you're not used to living in the present moment. You're used to planning or figuring things out, because you have that kind of personality. Again, not in a control way, but you're ultra independent. So you're always thinking about the next thing and what you can do and how you can help people and this, that, and the other. So staying in the present moment and literally, what we're talking about is ignoring the current circumstances and saying, this isn't my current circumstance. The way in which, we can explain it and hopefully help you around this, because it's all about tricking the mind, really. Your current circumstances are in and around you because of the energy that you've brought in before. So if you're in the present circumstances and you have different energy, you can shift your present circumstance immediately, because your present circumstance, all they do is reflect your past. Now, your past is 1 minute ago, your past is 1 day ago, your past is also 1 year ago. So anything that's going to block you will come up right now, but it's nothing that you need to heal, quote unquote, or go down that rabbit hole, as we say here on Unicorn Light Tarot. It just might be little things that are coming up for you to make peace with and integrate as you move forward. It's part of the test that you're going through, but none of it is a big deal. It's a matter of staying in that present moment and remembering that in that present moment that you have, you're creating a new future that doesn't reflect the past of who you were and the circumstances that you're in now. Every single one of you, for the most part, are in circumstances right now. Well, not every single one of you, but most of you are in circumstances right now that are just a reflection of your past. But you're ready for that magical movement forward, and you're ready for breaking away from that past, because pretty much everything that's in and around you, except for maybe a few things, some of you have some great people around you, but like there will be something that the job you want to leave, or where you live, something that's quite big that you want to move out of, but you're not completely on your own. You'll have a great partnership, or the house is brilliant, but the partnership, there is something that's in and around you where you have physical support in your actual life. But whatever it is that you're ready to leave can be replaced with something brilliant, because as you're in that present moment, the past can really fall away in such a dramatic fashion, because it really doesn't match your energy anymore. So you're on the precipice of something big. Just hold on and keep your energy high. And again, expect those miracles, expect the bigness, because if you have that expansiveness in and around you, it won't let you down. It doesn't let you down. Some people are afraid to have that expansiveness, to dream big and to believe in it, because they don't want to be let down. But the universe really matches your energy. So if you have that expansiveness, you can bring in something huge, much bigger. So you cannot be let down. You absolutely can. And we have the Hangman. So some of you are feeling as though you're on this precipice of something big, but you're still holding on. You're holding on, so there's a reason why you're holding on, and you've absolutely got this. You really have. And again, the gap between who you were and who you are now is already huge. And moving into that new beginning, and for you it is a new beginning, is absolutely there. Now, for some people, when you move forward, they're still holding some aspects of themselves. So when they move forward, they can change their life. You could change your life in a minute. If you stay in the present moment, but you have the means to change your life, like do a 180 based on who you are and what you've released before. You've done all of this work. So this is kind of big, but you've been working up to this. You've absolutely got this. Let's get you a little bit more. So just hang on and have faith. And really speak to your guides right now. The other thing is that you're really ultra connected to yourself, to your intuition, and also to your guides. So you feel this. So if you're having a moment of doubt, it's just a little bit of disconnection. Come back to them. But you're in the groove. You're in the flow. There's nothing that can go wrong here. You already know that something big is coming. You've just got to allow it to come in for you. And you're used to doing all the heavy lifting. And you've done that in the past, not just for yourself, again, for family members, for friends. That's what you do. You take on that energy. So, sometimes when, the little doubt comes in, you can revert back to that energy of, I need to do this, I need to do that. And again, if you're being nudged to do something, listen to your intuition. You'll find the right apartment, you'll find the right circumstances, whatever it is that each one of you is looking to change or level up at this point. So you have the heart chakra. I love myself and others unconditionally and nurture loving relationships. And that goes in with the relationship harmony too. All you need to do is keep the heart chakra open, keep that expansiveness there, and remember that you love yourself. If you concentrate on how much you deserve what you want, that's it. That's your firm foundation. You don't have to worry about how it's going to be delivered, because that's going to be magical. And also, you have been clear. For some of you who are like, I've been changing it up a little bit, I think I want this, and I've been doing this, and I've been putting energy out for that. Your energy isn't scattered. It isn't. The universe actually really knows what it is that you want. You have that kind of personality, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and meld it all in. And for some of you, the exact thing that you want, it doesn't really quite exist yet, or you haven't seen it on paper yet, but the universe knows what it looks like. So if some of you are feeling the doubt because you're like, I don't know the energy that I'm putting out there. Is it the specific thing? Will it fall short? Don't worry, the universe knows. And you've been putting the energy out of each and every aspect of what you want. I mean, for instance, if we say, just as an example, if you want a house, I like the farmhouse, but I'm also mid-century mom. This is very specific, but just giving you an example. They will give you a house with all of those elements together. You don't have to choose just one. So if that's the reason why you're doubting a little bit, because you feel like your energy's been scattered because you want different things, they'll meld it together and bring it back. Just concentrate on the fact that you've worked so hard, you deserve it, and it's coming to you. And that builds you that firm foundation. Don't worry. They've got it. They can see further than you can. That's not to say that you shouldn't trust yourself. You should absolutely trust yourself. But they can see further than you can. And you've been putting a lot of energy out into what you want, more so than you realize. So they're much more connected. And if you think about it, you're much more connected to what you want too. And even if you're not connected exactly to what you want, you're very specific about what you don't want. Now, don't concentrate on that. But that in itself really helps the universe too. So flames of wisdom, you've got the crone. I'm open to all of life's wisdom and share it with gratitude. Absolutely. Now we've got two things going on here. You are open to all of life's wisdom. Again, really, really kinetic movements moving forward, but the expansiveness, stay open. It's imperative that you stay open because the universe will match your energy. You want something big, you gotta surrender to it. Stay in that element of gratitude for what you have already, because you do have a firm foundation and you've worked your arse off to get to that firm foundation. You've done all this work. And also you've got the flames of wisdom, you've got the crone card. So something's coming into completion here. It's going to happen soon. Now, again, this is a timeless reading, but to make clear, this is happening. This reading is happening just after the new moon. So things are going to be moving. Things are going to be moving. It's going to happen. Again, completion is nigh. You might feel as though, you're waiting for something to happen, and that's fine. You don't need to wait. You can stay in that present moment and just be beautiful and just be incredibly magical. So universe has your back, but don't think you're doing this on your own. Again, you are incredibly clued in, but at the same time, ask them for more signs. Ask them whatever you need. And don't overexert yourself. When you get to that nudging stage, you will feel it. They are not subtle right now. They will, they'll let you know, we want you to get on the computer and do this, that, and the other. But if you're not if you're not being nudged to do any of that, don't exhaust yourself in this. Don't exhaust yourself moving forward and trying to figure this out. This actually came out. This literally just shot out. Number 33-2, miracle. The frequency of miracles supports our belief in ourselves as a part of source, and therefore our belief that anything is possible. Again, we could not have asked for a better card to finish this reading for you. Just want to remind you, you've got the Holy Spirit. You've got expect miracles. We've got Archangel Raguel. Got the angels in and around you, but also whatever is coming in and around you is being resolved to move you forward. Archangel Raguel is right there. You can reach out to them whenever you want. Specific angel, but this is also from your guides. You've got miracle cards everywhere. You are absolutely ready for this big leap and this big jump. And for some of you who have already come into the energy of something big coming in, congratulations. And do not worry, you are absolutely ready for this. This is your sign. Move into it with absolute confidence, right? So either way, whether it's coming in or not, stay in your power in the present moment. That's where all your power is. You create that future every moment that you're in that present moment. So that's what we have for you, darling, darling, beautiful Power Ones. You've absolutely got this. We are sending you support and beauty for exactly who you are and where you are in the world. Until we meet again, take care. Bye-bye. Okay, pile 2, if you chose the purple heart, you courageous, beautiful beings, you. These are your messages of support from your spirit guides, what you need to know right now. So we're going to see you have a myriad of different spirit guides, and some of you are even leveling up to working with other spirit guides. But we're going to see who is reaching out to you at this time and what their message is for you, to you on this particular day. So let's see who's reaching out for you. Archangel Metatron, wonderful. Indigo and crystal children. You have a bond with children in particular. You can help children who are sensitive. So Archangel Metatron is in and around you. And also there's messages of uploads coming in, lots of things that are happening ascension-wise that are coming in for you. Now, they don't seem too overwhelming. You've had your ups and downs with the ascensions. So, but you may have some energy where you feel as though you're sort of like a willow tree in the wind. I don't even know where that came from. Just sort of being thrown around in the wind a little bit. But there is this essence of being deeply rooted. So you are fine. So you're fine anyway, but you really, really are fine. So a lot of these uploads, these codes are coming in and shifting in and around you too. Now for the indigo and crystal children, again, these are general readings. So this can resonate with each and every one of you a little bit differently. The main message that I'm getting for you is the fusing between aspects of yourself and your inner child, where your inner child really takes over and allows for this magical life that's coming in, and not allows exactly, but integrates in a way where it's just a lot easier for you. You've done a lot of healing, you've done a lot of work, and you're recognizing your wholeness. And if we said before, the healing doesn't mean that you're not whole at all, you're already whole, but recognizing that through sort of releasing, that really allows you to shine in that way. This is something that you've been working on, and you've been really working on bringing that magical essence of who you are front and center. And the way to do that is to really integrate and fuse that beautiful inner child. Now, you've done a lot of inner child work. That's not it. It's a matter of fusing and integrating the inner child. So it's the primary factor of how you move forward. They are the aspect of your inner child, that inner light and that magic that you want. So yeah, to a certain extent, they're making the decisions, or they have the expansiveness of the viewpoint that you need, that you want in order to create that magical life, because you're creating your own reality at any time. That's the way we see the world. A lot of people recognize that, but then they still go off and do all sorts of other things. And I don't think it's really the essence of that is really integrated into the soul. But you get this on a very, in a very like intimate level. So you know that now that you've done that work with your inner child, it's about putting their energy front and center. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to give in to their tantrums, because the inner child can do that sometimes. But really lending that beautiful foresight that they have, that expansiveness, that childlike energy of anything can happen, miracles can happen. And that's what you want. That's what you're doing. That's what you're working on. Keep doing that. So what do we have? Oh my goodness. Look at this. Isis. Magic manifesting. Your dreams, visions, and goals are becoming reality. Stay focused. And this is how you're doing it. And joy and contentment. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at this energy of the card. Can feel it. So this is how you're moving forward. This is what they want you to know. The messages of support is supporting you moving forward in this way, and really having that magic in and around you. Now, you know, the essence of magic came up in pile 1, but this is a very different reading. Well, the energy is different anyway. This is about you tapping in also into your divine feminine and into your ancient wisdom to bring in that magic, really allow it to be expansive and put forth with this new sort of addition, if you like, with this beautiful childlike energy. It's like no matter what, it's going to be fine. You know, a kid, they fall down, they look to their parents. If the parents are panicky about them falling, then they get scared. But if your parent goes, you're all right, stand up, don't worry about it, you'll be fine, they'll be fine, and they build that resilience. You know, that's what you're doing with your inner child as you move forward with this magical way of being. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it brings you this peace in this moment and this joy and contentment, which of course is this wonderful foundation to move forward. Now, you do feel as though this is time for some changes, time for some shifting, and time for you to release the old. This is something that you've been working on. This is not news to you necessarily, but it's all about sort of integrating aspects of the old too, of the old magic coming in, of the old wisdom, and bringing it to you. Also, there's a part of it about shining your light, being out in the limelight a little bit more, and just really embracing who you are in the moment. There's some of you who, you know, you absolutely believed in yourself, but you kept yourself a little bit dumbed down, kept yourself, you know, to a certain audience because you wanted to stay safe. And that's perfectly reasonable with everything that you've been through. And also that's part of past life stuff, but you've been working on the bloodline. You've been working on past life stuff that doesn't really correlate with where you are right now. So you're willing to be out there a lot more and to be more vulnerable and to be more out there. And also that's why it's really important to have this really beautiful essence of this inner child of like, no matter what happens, there might be some bumps and scrapes as you put yourself out there. You just get back up and you're absolutely fine. You know nothing can touch you. You really have manifested like this before. You know you've done it before, but you've done the manifesting before when your back was up against the wall and you were like, I've got nothing. And then the universe delivered, right? And sometimes you've pushed yourself in life to get to the point where you've got nothing, so you're forced into a surrender. This is the first time that you're doing it where your back is slightly up against the wall. I mean, there's something here. You're not manifesting from nothing. You want those changes. You're ready for them. You're feeling the energy, the kinetic energy behind you saying, I want something new. But you're not at that necessarily that desperate stage anymore. You can't really get yourself there. So this is for you to work differently with the energy. It's a trusting energy. You don't have to get to the end of your tether to be able to change your life. This is something different for you. But using your magic in the same powerful way as you did before in that surrendering process is absolutely possible. That's what you're working on. Stay the course. You've got it. But, you know, some of you may be feeling that breaking point coming, and that's okay too. They've got your back. They've absolutely got your back. Sometimes we put ourselves into these situations where we're forced to surrender. But, you know, our higher self knows what's coming. Our higher self knows that in that surrender, we're gonna achieve what it is that we want. And you have been working for this, a leveling up of some sort. For some of you, it is being seen more, working for yourself, doing, you know, it's something to do with your, you know, we don't know if that's part of it. If it comes up again, then it's definitely part of it. This is definitely being on your path and achieving, well, not achieving necessarily, but really being part of your blueprint and stepping up in your blueprint, but really in the limelight, in the successful way of being, all right, I'm here to do this. Let's really do it, you know. Let's do it on the weekend. Let's do it full time. Let's do it now. I'm going to dedicate my whole being to it. This is why I'm here. And you're ready to do that now because you've done so much work. You know that you can devote yourself to sort of this new way of being without anything else, sort of the spanner in the works every now and again, you know, the universe coming in to teach you one more lesson. It's not that you will never get a lesson again, but you're going to deal with them differently. You're going to react to them differently. The flow, the way in which you move is completely different now, which is absolutely wonderful. So we do have the Eight of Rods. That's so funny. We do have the Eight of Rods here, and it is reversed this time. It's the joy and contentment. So again, the way in which you move forward, the way in which you use your passion and your energy is working a little bit differently. So trust as you move forward and as you enlist the help of the universe in a way that you've not really done before. You've been very self-reliant, and you still are, but this is a new level of trusting the universe, and it's absolutely glorious, and you've got this. And you've got that inner trust, you've got that inner peace. Now, every now and again, your mind comes in and panics you a little bit. That's all part of the course, that's fine. And what you've put out there is pretty big. This you have in common with Pile 1. But we want to remind you that it's our little human minds that says that, oh, this is huge and I've asked for it. It's really not huge to the universe. It really isn't. With manifestation, we say, manifest $1 and manifest $1 million. Obviously, the dollar is going to be easier. The only reason why it's easier is because you believe it's easier to manifest $1. But if you believe it's just as easy to manifest the $1 million, the universe will give you the $1 million. They go by frequency, not by number. So this is it. You put everything out there. You've got everything on the line. You've got this. You've got the energy to move forward with this. Yeah, you've got the energy of the Seven of Pentacles. And we did mention this in Pile 1, but it's important for you to know that, if you're trying to hinge everything on something that's coming in that's really huge, as you're moving toward that milestone, you will be supported. So if you're like panicking because you're not seeing necessarily the remnants of or the echoes of this big thing coming in, it doesn't matter. It's going to come in when you least expect it. Have the patience and give yourself some room for it to actually be able to come in. But also at the same time, as you're moving toward it, you will be supported. The universe will give you exactly what you need, exactly at the right time. So you just stay in this energy of magic. And again, really tap into that intuition, tap into that real heart chakra, and also your third eye. Tap into your magic. You know how you're doing. I mean, spell work people see spell work as different things. Don't want to freak anybody out. You certainly don't need to do it. But there's ways of doing rituals. There's ways of working with the universe, of tangibly manifesting with your energy. Law of attraction is part of it too. Spellworks takes it to a sort of a practical level as you're working with your physical energy. Whatever you need to do, because some of you are a little bit antsy. If you're a little bit antsy, take it to the next level. Do a little ritual. If you have a altar or whatever it is that you work with, change it up. Designate certain energy to putting this forward. Whatever you need to do just to get that antsiness out there. Or if your practical mind feels as though you need to be quote unquote doing more, do more in a very specific way that's more spiritual rather than turning your wheels in something that's not going to work. So Two of Cups here is wonderful again. Now this is, because it's a general reading, it's going to affect you differently. For some of you, it's energy coming in. You're manifesting a love. Now this love is coming in. That's, and that's probably why you chose the heart too. The heart's coming in. And some of you, it's this relationship with the divine masculine, the divine feminine. Now you're evenly keeled with that. There's nothing for you to work on. You're absolutely fine there. That's fine. It's not that. It's just a matter of how you manifest with working with the intuition and knowing when to move forward with that passionate energy, that kinetic energy of action with the divine masculine. Of course, we need both to have this beautiful connection and bring in this magic. So it's just a matter of you learning how to use that, and you're doing that. You're absolutely doing that. So don't be hard on yourself as you move forward. For those of you who are enacting love that's next level, thinking about having a family, if you're already with somebody that you're with and you're committed to, or buying a house or moving a house, it's going to be a leveling up in some way. And for some of you who have put out the energy for your significant other, the person that's coming in will be your counterpart. Now, we cannot predict whether this is the love of your life, but we can tell you that this is your counterpart. This is a person that you will be in and around. They will match your energy. You won't need to look after them. And this is a person that can definitely move you forward and support you in the way that you absolutely need, that you could potentially build a life with, right? Beyond that and how you see that is completely and totally up to you. So let's get you a little bit more information here too. So some wonderful stuff coming in, wonderful stuff happening. Just hold that inner child right there, but also really hold that moment, living in the moment, which is something that came up in pile 1 too, because that's how we manifest. So in that joy and contentment, and remember the peace, you've absolutely got this. Allow that peace to really integrate. It comes in waves. You have the peace, and when it comes in waves, you're like, I got this, I got this. And then it's almost like your practical mind gets a little bit restless and says, but I've got to create something right now. Got to create a little bit of drama. That's what I do. That's what I'm here for. I don't feel as though I'm really stepping up, because you're not working with the ego the way that you used to. So the ego pops in, and then, you're down this path of, oh my goodness, but you don't need to worry. Trust that peace. And when that ego comes in again, because you've kind of put it on the sidelines, you've worked with it, you've integrated the ego, you're not fighting with it anymore, so when it feels that peace, it gets a little bit panicky, because it's like, but this is the practical mind, this is, you need me. And you transcend the ego, whatever you need to do. A lot of people think that, you have to fight it. You don't need to fight it. There's a lot of presence with the ego. In fact, they can really teach you a lot. But really, at the end of the day, they're trying to be employed, and you've kind of worked away from how you need them, so in essence, they've sort of been fired from what they, the purpose that they were doing before, and they're a little bit confused. I don't know if you've ever seen The Office. I think it's the British one, where he gets let go, but he keeps coming back to visit everybody, but everybody's just getting on with work, and they're really not that bothered. That's the ego just coming back and checking in. Nobody, the rest of you's not really that bothered. You're not really bothered by it, but it's just, if it does pop in there, it's trying to make itself known. But again, stay with the peace. That's fine. So we have at day's end, rest. I find peace in nature and rest my body and mind in order to connect to spirit. Absolutely. Stay in that rest mode. Stay in that peaceful mode. We're going to put it right by joy and contentment, because this is what you have right now. And again, working with that ego, when it sneaks in there, you can say, hey up. You're good, thank you. Don't worry about it. Don't get involved in the drama. And it'll want to keep you into that drama. Just click on that right now. Oh, no, we just want a little bit of drama. It's fine. You can handle it. You're fine. You don't need any of that right now. It is a good time to protect your energy. It is a good time to not have drama in and around you, or go looking for drama. It's the ego that wants it, because it feeds off of it, right? So it might be pulling you in. Just click on this right now, that, two people arguing in a Walmart. No, you don't need to see two people arguing in a Walmart. You don't need to see any of that stuff. You don't need to be bought into any of that drama. So these little things might be happening with your ego. And again, they're not big. And they're kind of sad in a way. So if you are doing that, and in order to be triggered a little bit, just say to no, we're not doing that. We don't need that. We do not need that. And you've got spirit awakens you. You've got number 1. So just like pile 1, you're coming to a conclusion. You're coming into whatever it is that you're seeking. I embrace my soul purpose and align all aspects of my life to it fully. And this is exactly what we said at the beginning. We said that you are ready to completely and totally and wholly dedicate yourself to your mission here on earth as a starseed, whatever it is that you're doing. Now, that will be obviously a myriad of different things for each and every one of you. And it will, it'll be fused with many different things too, because a lot of you don't just like doing one thing. It'll be a lot of different things. Now, to a certain degree, you've always been there, and you've always been on your path, but you've never dedicated yourself completely, because you're healing your past and doing all of this work that you've been doing, again, not to heal because you're not complete, you're already complete, but as we release what we no longer need, you are, in essence, you can really feel that completeness as you move forward, that wholeness. And that's when you move forward and you have this beautiful magical life. So there were things that you needed to work on, and the things that you have done, you've worked on them beautifully. So it's not that you weren't dedicated to your path. You were, and you've been doing it, but it was not exactly on the forefront. So now that you've dedicated, and some of you have even said to the universe, like physically, I'm ready to do this 100%, to be out there. And again, it could be many different things. A lot of you have creative stuff, but you're fusing different things, the creative with the medical with the herbal, sort of fusing two different things coming in, because a lot of what you do and the energy that you bring to this world has not quite been seen before. And this is why the timing is perfect, because now all the structures are crumbling. The world is ready to hear all of this. At least a lot of people are. Not everybody will be, but that's fine. You're not here to please everybody. You really are not. In fact, you're not here to please anyone. You're just here to be you and to shine brightly. But this you saying, all right, this is forefront. This is what I'm doing now. This is absolutely number one on my list. Absolutely puts you forward with the universe. Now, you literally cannot go wrong. Stay in that energy of love with that heart chakra, and again with your third eye, and you will move forward into this new beginning that for some of you that you've been looking for and you've been trying to bring in. But you see, you couldn't really bring it in because the energy was a little bit different. It's not that you want success. You want to be good at what you do. That's perfectly reasonable, and you'll get that. But also you've been focusing on sort of the money aspect of it or different aspects of it. Again, that's perfectly reasonable because you've been focusing on different things because you've had the lack of it. Now that you're focusing on just doing your mission and being brilliant, because you are brilliant, the rest of it just comes in as a natural attitude, as a natural sort of secondary effect, as success, the brilliance, the accolades, the money, whatever it is that you want will come in as a secondary. But because you were focusing on that as a primary before, again, perfectly reasonable, it was you were sort of pushing it away. But now that you've devoted yourself to your blueprint, the rest of it will just come naturally. So you've done this correctly now. Now, it's not that you were doing it all wrong, blah, blah, blah. No, not at all. There was a timing aspect for this. Again, you were working so much on yourself that you couldn't really put everything into being part of your blueprint, not every aspect of it yet. And until you could, all of this in its gloriousness just didn't have the room to come to you yet. But you wanted to enjoy it when you had done the work, and you've done the work and you're ready for this. Keep concentrating on the moment. Keep concentrating on putting your blueprint out there, being firmly on your path, and however that shows up for you. And there's part of it that you realize with your path of what you're going to do. There's some of it that you're kind of set on, not in a way that it's inflexible, but that you know what you're here to do. You're going to do it. But there's also parts of it you're going to go off in different directions, and it's going to be brand new, and it's absolutely glorious. And don't worry about it. You couldn't have thought about it. You never could have guessed it in a million years. But that's coming in too. All you need to think about, though, is just putting your energy out there about what it is that you want to do and shining brightly, and that you know what it is. You know what it is, whether it's that clairaudience, whatever you're doing, whatever it is that I'm doing, you're doing, one-on-one soul coaching, whatever it is. Obviously, these are specific and it's not going to be for everybody, but for whatever it is, use that as a base. Commit yourself completely and wholly, and everything else that you're looking for will come in. You've absolutely got this. Let's pull you one last card here. Gorgeousness. To end this reading, or complete this reading, we should say. But that magic, that Isis too, as we have Archangel Metatron is with you, you have this insane magic with Archangel Metatron and Isis, with the insane divine feminine energy coming in with the magical, and also with codes. So some of you could be working with DNA codes, and that did pop out, but let's see, working with DNA codes, and also working with shifting and vibration. So this is something that you've been working on, but you can also help others with too. So this is something that you're going through, but you've gone through it in such a specific way that you can help others do that too. So this could be part of your mission. So we have transition, absolutely 43. The frequency of transition supports our deep understanding of the ever-changing nature of existence and our lives, so that we can learn to let go, surrender to the process, and allow transition to occur with ease and grace. Now, you have that joy and contentment. You are letting this go. You are moving into through this transition. And we've got it looks like a DNA strand too, sort of, with the infinity. It's not all the way around, but you are absolutely on the precipice of this. You are probably in the middle of this transition right now, but it's all happening, and the magic is right there. And the frequency, keep your frequency high. and all of the ever-changing nature of existence of our lives too. So everything that you've got that's coming in with Archangel Metatron and Isis, this is very, very high level guide spirits coming in for you and supporting you right now. So whatever it is that your mission here is on Earth, it's a big one. It's a big one, and you've been working incrementally toward it. So there was going to be a da-da moment where you're ready to absolutely go for it completely and totally, and it is now. And it couldn't have been before. So if any of you are looking back and like, why is it taking me so long? Because this is a process. And it's a process for you, but you're right in the middle of it with the Spirit Awakens now. So just trust, be you, and keep focusing on what it is you're supposed to be. And not even specifics, just clicking into your blueprint. The rest of it will unfold and you will be supported without a shadow of a doubt. We are sending you so much beautiful support for exactly who you are and where you are in the world. Thank you for tuning into Unicorn Light Tarot. Beautiful pal twos. Go be you. That gorgeous magic, whatever you need to do to manifest it. Isis is great for spell work too. You don't have to. Just manifestation with Isis. Go, go, go be you. Until we meet again, take care. Lovely pal threes. Last but very much not least, we have the blue heart here, and we are doing messages of support from your spirit guides, what they want you to know right now. And also because everybody has a myriad of different spirit guides, and some people are leveling up and working with different spirit guides right now. We are going to be reaching out and seeing who is in and around you right now and what they want you to know. So who is reaching out to you at this time? You've got Archangel Uriel. It's all about the light. You know what to do. Trust your inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. So this is about trusting yourself and moving forward and trusting your light. Wonderful. Oh, Kali, look at this. Facing fear. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. Sorry if this is... Okay. This is your chance to soar, and you have compassion. So being compassionate to where it is you are right now, as a nice theme that we have throughout Pile 1, 2, and now 3, not surprised, about leveling up, and leveling up in a really, really big way. So some stuff might be coming up for you, but Kali is absolutely perfect here. You've got the angel of light and you've got the Kali energy around you. They're in and around you, supporting you for what you do. Your fears absolutely do not hold you back. And in fact, everything that's coming up, you're really able to see, sort of like a sewing, keep seeing a sewing needle going back, how it came up. And you see, the thing is that you started to believe it. And some of these, what's really focusing for you is this: some structures are crumbling, and it's a beautiful thing. You're not worried about it in any way. You're sort of loving it. But there's some aspects about your personality where or aspects about who you are that you believe that you wouldn't be able to achieve this, or you weren't good enough as this, or the way in which you saw yourself was absolutely incorrect. Like, there's an aspect of you that's really introspective and likes their to be alone. And most of you, if not, pretty much most of you know how to be alone, and that doesn't bother you in any way, shape, or form. In fact, you need that to recharge. But then on the other side of it, and this is just an example, there's a part of you that sort of believed that you weren't that outgoing, or you weren't that adventurous, or you weren't that great with people. And even though on a basic level you knew that this wasn't correct, you knew that this wasn't really you or how you thought or any of this was real, but there were aspects of your personality that actually brought that in. And then you chose not to do certain things. I'm not going to go off and do that. I'm not that adventurous, or I'm not this, that, and the other. And you're realizing that all of these things are falling away, and they're crumbling away in a really exciting way. And again, none of it was really you anyway. It's just parts of yourself that you sort of picked up out of protection mode. And none of them really made sense anyway. So a lot of the fears that are coming up for you that you're facing, and a lot of, again, it's very specific, Pile 3, to how you saw yourself and how small you saw yourself compared to how large you really are, and how large your beacon of light really is, and what you can really achieve. Now, you do believe that you could achieve something bigger, but you also, there was aspects of your personality where you sort of, again, you dumbed yourself down and then convinced yourself that you wouldn't be able to do it somehow, or that you wouldn't be good enough, or that wasn't really you, or, I'm not adventurous as that person, or I would love to be like that person, and you really actually are. And when you look at very specific aspects of your life, there is actual proof that you were exactly like that. So it's a matter of like letting all of this crumble away, right? Now, again, for most of you, it could be a little bit uncomfortable. For some of you, it could be a little bit of a tower moment. But the tower moment sometimes is unexpected. This is not unexpected. This is something that it's crumbling. And for some of you, you're okay with the crumbling. It's not really a tower moment. Is if the ego gets involved and says, oh my God, everything's like changing everything, and then you get involved in that, it's going to feel like a tower moment. But if you come back and say, I've absolutely got this. This is stuff that I no longer need. This is stuff that I really didn't believe anyway, but it's physically crumbling. It's physically crumbling from your DNA. It's physically crumbling from all aspects of who you are. So no remnants of it will exist anymore. So, and you crystallized aspects of who you thought you are based on these beliefs that really weren't. Some of them could have been projections and some of them could have been beliefs, but you did reinforce them over the years. But again, you never really... they never really made sense, because it's like we said, when you went back and said, oh, there's no examples to back this up, like I'm not adventurous. You are adventurous. Maybe you haven't been adventurous recently, or you're not adventurous in your day. Maybe you feel as though you're stuck in a rut. You do the same thing every day. It doesn't mean that you're not adventurous. If you go back in your life, you've done X, Y, and Z, you're incredibly adventurous. You just choose the adventures that you want. You can be very spontaneous in certain ways, and sometimes it's not the time to be spontaneous. You've grown up in that way, right? So let all of this crumble away. It is anyway. Enjoy the process. Come back to compassion for yourself for what you're doing, and trust in your light. Now, again, this really shouldn't be a huge or an enormous deal, because this is something that you've been working on, and this is just the last part of it as the process before you move forward. And again, you've got these really, really powerful energies of light and light and destruction. Again, like moving stuff out of your way in this really physical, almost violent but gorgeous way, getting it done. It's over, which means, Kali's on it. It ain't coming back. Like whatever you work on, this tower moment is getting rid of what you don't need. And that is it. And again, it doesn't need to be a tower moment for you. If it feels like it's a tower moment, take a moment, step back, see it for what it is. This is not sudden crumbling. You know this. Let it burn to the ground. What is left for you was always there. So let's get you some more specifics for this. But do have compassion with yourself as you're going through it. And if you need to take yourself out, either to dinner or to sort of out of the world for a little while, protect your energy while this is going on, that's fine. Don't feel as though you need to keep up with absolutely everything and every single, date that comes up and everything that you need to do. It's great to have plans and to show up and all of that. But, if you feel as though you just need to back off a little bit and look after yourself, give yourself some compassion. Don't give yourself a hard time about this. It's an energy that you need to do, and putting yourself forward and first right now is exactly what you need to do. And you will know, each and every one of you, how that works for you. But don't give yourself a hard time for not feeling as though you're quote unquote not 100% showing up for this, that, and the other. That's not what this is about. But at the same time, we also want to make clear that this is nothing that needs to be focused on and worked through. Don't you dare go down that rabbit hole of feeling like you need to heal. And again, to be clear, healing doesn't mean that you're less than or that you're not already perfect and beautiful and not whole. It just means that you're, literally shaving off and releasing what no longer works. So you can see that wholeness. You can work with that wholeness, and you don't project any of those things that you've not worked through on other people. What is that quote that I saw? I think it's a meme. It's beautiful. Not again, you're already whole, but heal yourself so you don't bleed on people who didn't cut you. So being completely responsible for your own energy. But again, this is something that you don't need to, you don't need to do a course. You don't need to go down that rabbit hole, and you don't need to over focus on it. Focus on the outcome and focus on the light, focus on the compassion, but let it fall away. You don't need to over focus on the actuality of it falling apart, because that could be bringing you into that tower moment. And it really isn't a tower moment. It really isn't. You've had tower moments. You really know what that is. This is not a tower moment, so don't make it into a tower moment. Under compassion, you have the moon. Yes, gorgeous, mystery, beautiful. You see the mysterious aspect of yourself, which you absolutely have, and that gorgeousness. And you can use to really activate your power. You also have... you have a lot of traits, and a lot of them have been developed or have really been shining a light recently, like you've really come into your own. And this is honestly just the beginning as you step onto your path and keep on that. This is all part of the process. But also with that compassion, moving in with the mysteriousness, everything that you are working towards is absolutely ready to be delivered. Let everything fall away first. It doesn't have to feel as though it's falling apart. What will be left is a lot of what you you didn't hide from it, or you didn't hide it. You always knew it was there, but because you were previously dealing with tower moments, and you were dealing with aspects of yourself, or dealing with yourself in the world, believing certain things about yourself that just wasn't true, it sort of made things a little harder for you, because it blocked your way, because you weren't completely free to move forward, because you had these little understandings about yourself that just weren't true. And like we said, to reiterate, they were contradictions. And even though you could feel as though that they weren't really true, there was something that was solidified, that it was crystalline a little bit going through your life as you was moving forward. So as these all fall away completely and totally, because they're contradictions and they don't work. And here's the thing, you no longer believe in them. You didn't really believe in them before because they were contradictions and they didn't really work. However, you used them as a way to not really strive for what you wanted, because you sensed that you weren't ready for it. So you used it to your advantage. So that's fine. That's totally fine. You've always known there's a divine element, there's a divine timing element to who you are and what you want to become. And there is a what to that, because you are everything, what and who. So you used, those contradictions, you kept those crystalline on a very specific way, for a specific way to protect yourself. So there's nothing wrong with that. But the contradictions, they don't work now. So as they fall away, what is left is more of you to shine, that more mysterious part of you. For some of you, it could be the occult. I know some people get really nervous about that word, but we're really here to sort of really shine light on what people are really nervous about, and just bring more light to it and bring more wisdom to it, not to dumb it down anymore and say, people for millennia, people for hundreds of years, whatever, have been, worried about the word occult. Well, to a certain extent, get over it. You're going to stand for that. You're going to stand for exactly who it is, and that beauty and that gorgeousness. So you're not going to dumb anything down, and all of those aspects of your personality that are already there will become front and center. And those in place with who you already know yourself to be, with this compassion and this beauty moving forward. And with this light, you're a lot of light coming in. There's nothing that you cannot do. It's a very, very exciting time for you. So with the light and Archangel Uriel, Archangel Uriel is helping you move through some of these old versions of yourself. And again, not to get attached to them. For some of you are actually laughing at it. I can't believe that I thought that, or I can't believe that I did that. And again, don't get into that whole thing of, I can't believe I didn't go for that at that time because of this, that, and the other. Let it go. You didn't go for it because you didn't. You just didn't. You weren't supposed to at that time. You didn't want to. That's fine. Do not go back into this, go back into the past and have a laugh about this, that, and the other, to be from a removed objective viewpoint. But don't go back into the subjectivity and say, I could have done this, I could have done that. Don't do that. That's just feeling sorry for yourself. It's not needed, it's not wanted, and it's actually going to put a little bit of a spanner in this beautiful moment that you have of moving into or collecting and really honing in on those aspects of self. So you're realizing that as you look back, if you're doing this in an objective manner, you're realizing how you acted in that moment, why you acted in that moment, and what aspects of your personality were being activated at that time, what beliefs you had at that time that were being activated that aren't true. But you're seeing it all as if it's a movie being played out. And again, don't get involved in the specifics of it, but it's absolutely fascinating for you to see, because you're such a different person now. You're watching this movie based on this person that you don't even know anymore. And this is what they chose, and this is, so if you're really able to do this objectivity sort of phasing of it, of looking through your past, it's absolutely incredible. And that in itself could be, if you don't get attached, that in itself could be a really fun thing for you to do, to realize who you are now, which is a completely different person. So who do we have for Miss Kali too? So you have the Five of Swords. I want to pull one more here for you too. For the Swords energy, it does feel as though there are some spirit guides, and also, I don't know, this may be a message for just a couple of you. I certainly don't want to freak you out, but for some of you, there is definitely channeling, but also mediumship. You've got swords coming in here too, coming back into your truth and holding that energy. Okay, so this is also coming in too, with this passion of what you have. But it feels like, for, again, getting back to this specific message, channeling for some of you, and even mediumship, it feels as though there are people that are trying to bring you messages. Some of them could be guides, some of them could be messages of loved ones passed over, and they want to bring you messages. They want to tell you something, and it's all positive. Some of them even want to apologize if you've been doing a lot of work on your bloodline. That's part of it too. They want to bring their strength to you. Now, you're not naturally blocking them out per se, but they're on the other side. So this is a passed over energy. So that's why I said mediumship, but it could be channeling too. It could be your guides for some of you. But they're there with they're watching you. And they're congratulating you for who you are and who you've become and everything that you've been through. Because what you don't quite realize on the level that you realize, at some level you realize it, but not to a great degree. And they want this to be very clear, that everything that you've been through and every little aspect that you thought was personal, you were actually playing out for the most part. You were playing out and you were healing the bloodline. So every single situation that you had to face your fear, and it felt very personal to your life. It was a personal situation with that person and that situation. It was actually it was a mirrored situation with the archetype of what you were working with too, with what was going on with your, not just past lives, but also your bloodline. You were healing all of that at the same time. So they want to give you their strength, and they want to say thank you for everything that you've done. So everything that you've healed on a personal level has also healed humanity, but also specifically your bloodline. So as you're looking back, you can look upon that in a completely different way. Now, what's happening is that a lot of you come from insane magic. Particularly on the father bloodline too, but particularly on the matriarchal line for most of you. So they weren't able to use a lot of those gifts. They're offering those gifts to you now that you can integrate with your gifts now. And now that everything's crumbling and falling away, and you're no longer relying on older versions of yourself that didn't work anyway, but work for protection, so they worked in the moment, you can really, really move on with your gifts, right? And you cannot be afraid of them anymore. Some of you were a little afraid of your power. You could sense how powerful you were. Some of you wondered if you would even misuse your power. That could have been sort of an echo from a past life. You're not here to misuse it in this lifetime. Let that go. And this is something that you know. You've actually come out on the other side of that, so this should be no news to you. But if you did fear your power in the past, or people projected upon you because they could also feel that power, that's probably echoed from a past life. But we've not all been great in past lives. That's why we're here, to really experience different things and to really, put everything together and be able to move forward, because we've had these beautiful different experiences. And some of them could have been horrific experiences. Some of them could have been bordering on not so nice. Some of us have been downright bollockses in past lives, but you're not here to do that in this lifetime. You're here to show and shine the truth and hold the truth for who you are. Now, for some of you, it could be holding family legacy too. There's a way that you could work with that in your blueprint. Maybe you could teach or help people heal that. But really the understanding of everything that you've done on this sort of micro level of just you moving through it and facing your fears was actually working on the macro level of this much bigger level of healing that family line in ways that you did not realize. Some ways you didn't, but not to the degree. So now again, they are here. So you are able to speak to them if you want to. This is part of your gift if you want to open that up to channeling, if you want to open that up to mediumship or take it one step further, if you're already doing that. But they want to lend their support to you in some ways. Now, it will be in a myriad of different ways for each and every one of you because the way in which you communicate is different. But they're there for you, and they're also letting you know not to take any of this on anymore. They're supporting you and letting it all go. The family legacy is gone. You're actually here to be known for who you are in this lifetime. And some of you may have had this sort of like taken on the family legacy, the name or something like that, the matriarchal line, as a way to say, this is what I'm going to do in this lifetime. It's part of my identity. And recently you may have decided that you're not going to do that anymore. Taking the family line or taking the family name isn't as important to you anymore in some way or another. And that's because you've grown out of that. And even though you are your bloodline and it's absolutely beautiful and you're taking that energy, you're not disowning anyone. And if you have, you've done it for a purpose to cut those cords. And that was fine. You've done that work. We don't need to harp on about it. But, that bloodline that you have, you're actually exceptional. You've moved away from that bloodline. You are now your own individual entity. So, you'll always carry that bloodline, but you don't need to show it anymore. It doesn't need to appear in the name or whatever. You may still decide to carry the name. It doesn't matter. Maybe you want to drop the name. It doesn't matter. But you feel as though you're a complete bright source entity on your own, but also connected to absolutely everything, and moving forward with your own passion and your own beauty in what you want to do. It's not reflected in any way, shape, or form with anything to do with your family anymore, and that's a good thing. Again, you're not disowning them in any way, shape, or form. You're just, you're creating your own path completely. So your path might change and shift a little bit because of the work that you've been doing recently. But again, stay in that compassion for yourself and stay in that light with all of the work that's being done in and around you. Now, if you just allow it to happen, this work, beautiful Kali here, this work will be done for you. You don't have to do anything. I mean, it goes without saying, you don't have to go down the rabbit hole, as we said, or do a course or anything, but you don't actually actively have to do anything, even meditate or whatever. Just let it be. These guides are working with you. Your family's working with you just to move through everything. All you need to do is hold compassion for yourself at this time and concentrate on the light that you are in this world. In this way, karma is being cleared, and this way you have sort of a really interesting brand new beginning, sort of a brand new karma, brand new beginning. So this is an incredible way for you to move forward. So hold the space, hold the light for you at this time. Let's get you a couple more messages here. You've got the crone energy. I believe that came in with pile 1, if I'm not mistaken. So flames of wisdom. I'm open to all of life's wisdom and share it with gratitude. Also with the flames of the crone, the wisdom coming in, all the wisdom that you will be left with unhindered to be able to use at your will when all of this crumbles away. And also the crone energy coming into not just the wisdom, but some kind of completion, which means that you can move forward in any direction. Crone energy around you is absolutely incredible. And you have nature spirits too. I respect all of nature's elemental beings and help preserve life on earth. Now, this is part of your blueprint. This is something that you'll be doing. And again, each and every one of you will create this and integrate this into not just your DNA and blueprint, but whatever it is that you do in each different ways. But yeah, whether you're working with saving animals or whatever it is, no more testing on animals, whatever it is, the specificity will be on you. But this is part of what you're doing here. also working with elemental energy and bringing that elemental realm to light, maybe through music, maybe through creativity, maybe through illustration. Whatever it is that you do, you're connected to that elemental energy, and that's coming in. These energies are coming in and around you too, as you're being, frequencies going up, and you're being, you've got so much more light around you now. That denseness is being sort of crumbling away. But again, it wasn't nearly as dense as it was many, many years ago. So let's finish off here with one of these beautiful cards. But yeah, you're exactly where you need to be. You've got some fierce energy in and around you. There is some great elemental energy, and also water energy too, particularly water. The element of water here. Oh, delight, 19. The frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we evoke in others. So keep in that sort of elemental energy. Cleanse what no longer works. Let the work be done for you, and enjoy the process. Before, when things were falling apart, it didn't feel so great. You can enjoy this process. You have every right to, really enjoy it, just falling away. And again, we've got the delight here with the compassion coming in, with that beautiful inner child, with that elemental energy of not getting involved, but with knowing that these new legacies are coming in with this, it's sort of this completion of the karma coming in, which is absolutely wonderful. So just concentrate on that and let the path be cleared for you. New beginnings are happening for you once this is cleared, but do not get caught up in that little ego that wants to bring you back into feeling as though, it needs to control everything. It really doesn't. This is not a tower moment. You've absolutely got this. So that's what we have for you, Pile 3. We are sending you so much love and compassion and energy and support for exactly who you are and where you are in the world. Go be you and enjoy this absolutely beautiful time that you have moving forward, and and going into that beautiful new karma, creating that new life that you want. Until we meet again, bye-bye.